Blog Talk Radio.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
And from coast to coast and around the globe, you're listening to Tarot Today Radio. We are the show that brings you the world of tarot, interviews with your favorite tarot authors, teachers, and deck creators, as well as news from the Tarot Guild, interesting topics, reading, and just plain fun. I'm your host, Dax Carlisle. I'm the founder and president of the Tarot Guild, the international organization for tarot lovers, students, and professionals since 2004, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. And let me introduce the other host of Tarot Today Radio. She is a tarot advisor, a certified tarot master, and crystal Reiki master, as well as vice president and director of communications for the Tarot Guild. And here she is, live from Amarillo, Texas, the fabulous Mary Brown. Hey, Mary.
Hey, Dax. Hey, everybody. Happy Psychic Saturday and Halloween Eve.
Happy Halloween Eve. Oh, this is exciting. So much going on tomorrow on Halloween. Yes. It's my friend Doug's birthday. It's Halloween. And tomorrow is the 17th birthday, the 17th anniversary of the Tarot Guild. That's right. We're about to go into our 18th year.
It's amazing. Makes you feel old. I feel old. Like, really, it feels like it was just yesterday that I joined Tarot Guild. Oh, my goodness.
In just a little while, we're going to be on here, Mary, and going, it's 20 years. You know, it's just a couple more years.
I
it's going to be like 20 years of the Tarot Guild. And you and I have been there for, you know, most of that time, you know.
I
know I've been there obviously
from the very beginning,
the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were more around 2010. It's about 6 years, when we launched the radio show and the first website and got online and you discovered us. It was exciting. The good old days.
I know. It was the good old days. But, you know, the good days are coming back, too. You know, we're having good days at the Tarot Guild. We have so much going on.
I know. That's what I wanted to say was that it feels like that. It feels like it did in 2010, like when we were brand new. I mean, for those that don't know, the website is thetarotguild.com. And it had other iterations, though. It was tarotguild.com, tarotguild.org, and now it's thetarotguild.com. And this is a brand new website. Well, not brand new, but it's to us it is, because it's only been up and running for 2 years. And so it's like a fresh new start. And just like how things were happening in 2010 and so much going on, it's happening again, you know. And a lot of the people that we used to have involved in the Tarot Guild are coming back. I mean, Pamela Steele just came back, you know, Steel Wizard Tarot, and Ciro Marchetti. You know, God, we just had Ciro Marchetti, the interview last week. Wasn't that great? Oh, my God.
It was so fun. Yeah, it was
if you
fun to
missed
do a
that
listener party.
Yeah, we got to do more of those where they're listener parties. And Mary and I, we started the show off live, but then we went into the pre-recorded interview that Mary did with Chiro, and we just popped in the chat room with everyone else and had a good time listening in. It was just fantastic. If you missed that, go back in the archive and check that out, folks. You're going to love that episode, especially if you're a big fan of Chiro's decks like I am. So today, absolutely, we are a live call-in show, so give us a ring at 714-816-4628. We're going to be doing readings and open lines today, and you can also join us on our chat post that we were just talking about. That it's chat.psychictalk.net. We'll take you right over there. The chat room is below the player. There's a player right on the page, so you can listen in live. Chat.psychictalk.net. Now, it seems to be loading fine on pads and phones. On my laptop, it took an extra 30 seconds for the chat room to materialize and start working. So if you're on a laptop or a computer, and I'm on Chrome, I'm not sure about the other browsers, but you might have to give it an extra 30 seconds, and then, because everybody's getting in there, so it must be okay. Sharona's in there, Jason's in there, we're in there. Come join us. You can chat with us in the chat room. You can even ask for a mini reading right there in the chat room. You can also discuss what we're talking about on the show, our topic and everything. We do have a topic today, and we're also doing the Psychic Spin because it's the last Saturday of the month. We're almost in November. I can't believe it, Mary. I mean, it's going to be Turkey Day soon, right?
I know. It's amazing. Finally, this year is moving along. It feels like it's taken forever to get here.
See, and I had the exact reverse experience, and I was actually talking about this with a few people, how this year just blasted by. I mean, 2020, when we were in the midst of, the beginning of COVID and the shutdowns and everything, 2020 took frickin' forever. And then now we come into 2021, it was just January, and oh my God, it's November now. It's like, where did this year go? It's like, slow down, 2022. I hope 2022 lasts a little bit longer. Anyway, so give us a call, 714-816-4628. The caller lines are open. Press 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. That puts you into the caller queue, lets us know you want to be on air with us, and it puts you in the order that you called in. So hold your spot there, and we'll get to calls in a little bit here. 714-816-4628. And once again, join us in the chat room, chat.psychictalk.net. So today's show is sponsored by the Tarot Guild, the international organization for tarot lovers, students, and professional readers since 2004. And after tomorrow, which is our anniversary, on Monday, we are in our 18th year. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. New website
That's
we built
amazing.
is, it's the world's only full-featured tarot social media networking platform. It's not a website, folks. It's a social media platform just like Facebook, Instagram, all these, different social media platforms out there. It has, you get your own profile, you get your own stream of, what do they call that? Your wall and comment wall, and there's an activity feed, groups and forums. There's live chat. There's direct messaging. I mean, everything just like on social media, except it's tarot all the time. All tarot all the time. And, none of the negative stuff that you find on the other websites. So come over. You can sign up free at thetarotguild.com. The top of any page, you'll see the sign-up button. Just click that. You can sign up with your email address and a password, or you can sign up using one of your social media accounts like Twitter, Facebook, Google Yahoo, LinkedIn, all of those. You can also open a new tab in your browser right now and type in signupthetarotguild.com. And we have 6,900 members now on our Facebook group, The Tarot Guild. Whew. Lots of stuff going on. Let's see. What else did I want to mention? I knew there was a couple of things. We mentioned the anniversary. I'm really excited about that. And, my updated Halloween decks and spreads. So last year, I said, I'm going to make a list of some, really great Halloween decks for Halloween. And I got started doing it. And remember, Mary, I just went nuts. I actually made the most, comprehensive list. Well over 100 decks. And it's mostly tarot, but there's also Lenormand decks that have a Halloween theme. There's Halloween-themed Oracle decks as well. And I updated it this year. In fact, it got so big that I had to split it into two articles, part 1 and part 2. And all you have to do is open up a new tab in your browser and type in halloween.thetarotguild.com. There's also a link on that page for the part 2, and also a link for some Halloween spreads you can enjoy as well. And by the way, if you go through that list and I miss something, let me know. I'll add the deck to the list. If you have a spread idea that you want to share with everybody, we'll put it on the spreads post that we have going. It's really exciting. I'm going to put that in the chat room right now. Mary, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. The first thing I think is wow, people make a lot of decks that are Halloween themed. Because when I remember last year when you first did it, I was thinking, oh yeah, I can think of a few. Okay, there's that one, and okay, I'm thinking maybe there's 10 of them. I don't know, but wow, no. People really like doing that. So it's mind-blowing. I think it's mind-blowing. And I think it's very cool, too. Mm-hmm. The art is so fun. That's the thing about Halloween. It's people get really creative with their costumes and the way that they decorate and trying to come up with ways to spook people. So it's a great theme to have for a deck. And Halloween spreads, what could be more perfect than sitting with your friends on Halloween and doing a tarot card reading with a Halloween spread?
That's right. And I even have some decks on here that haven't even released yet. Some are releasing late this month. Well, it is the late October already. Some are releasing in November. Some are releasing a little further on in the year, and some not till 2022. But you can pre-order on Amazon. So I figured I put them all on there. One of them is the Macabre Tarot by Sam West, and it has a coffin-shaped box that the deck comes in. I think that is so cool. What do you think, Mary?
Yes, I love that one. I think that one is really cool. And I was thinking about it, too, because I was checking it out. I'm like, oh, wow, I don't have a coffin-shaped tarot. But the box is shaped like a coffin, but the cards are normal shape. So they'll be easy to shuffle still.
I wish somebody would do that, though. I mean, I was just going to say that. Get more creative with the cards, folks, than these rectangles, that we've been using for 500 years. Make a coffin-shaped card. Why not, Mary? Or pumpkin-shaped, right?
Oh, yeah. Pumpkin would work, too. Hopefully they're listening out there. We want more.
Right. And another one that's coming out from, and I can't pronounce all these words. I'm going to mess all this up because it's like a foreign language to me, whatever these words are. But Bragalone Games, I hope I'm saying that right, is coming out with the Chihuahua Dark Arts Tarot. I cannot even pronounce these words. It is insane.
Oh, so yeah, is that H.P. Lovecraft? That's a lot of. There's a
I don't.
Yeah,
it's H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, and there's already like 2 or 3 Lovecraft decks out there, and people just, they go crazy about them. A lot of Lovecraft fans out there. And again, Halloween's a great time for reading Lovecraft as well.
Yeah, and there's another one I wanted to mention from Ellie Goldwine and Minerva Siegel, and it's the Villains Tarot deck. That's right, Disney villains on a tarot deck.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep. So
the colors
are great
on that.
Right. There's a whole bunch of great ones coming out here. Last year we saw the Z Tarot, for the Walking Dead kind of that movie series that came out.
Oh yeah,
I think
Walking Dead is really popular. The TV show too.
Yeah, but not The Walking Dead. I'm just referring to the genre. What do they call the genre? I couldn't think of anything besides Walking Dead.
Zombies.
That's what I was. Yeah. So they came out with the Z Tarot because there was that movie that came out. God, who was it that did that movie? I think it was Brad Pitt.
And it's a funny category too, because I remember years ago interviewing George Romero, and he's like, they're not zombies, they're the living dead. I'm like, okay. And then I go see another zombie film, basically, and they're like, yes, they're the Walking Dead. And then somebody else was like, yeah, I made a zombie movie. So it's a popular genre, and people have strong feelings about it.
Right.
What they actually are.
And I bring this up because Alejandro Colucci did that deck with Jamie Elford, but this year is now coming out with they did Tarot Z. Now he's doing Tarot V with Charles Harrington, and it's a vampire deck.
Awesome
sauce.
In fact, another popular Halloween genre: the vampires, the werewolves, the ghosts, and today the shadow people.
I'm looking on it here. It says Tuesday, November 16th. It says in stock soon. So it's coming out. You can grab it. You can also pre-order it. Tarot V. The images are great. I love the look of it. I love the boxes, both Tarot Z and Tarot V. I wonder if he's going to have X and Y next year or something. Anyway, so there are all of these great things coming out here. There's also a link on that. By the way, if you didn't get the link or the URL, just go over to thetarotguild.com, click on articles, and you can go through and you can find it. I'll even redate it so it goes towards the top. And I wanted to mention a couple other things real quick, but I have to go over to part 2 because the list got so comprehensive it doesn't fit on one article anymore. Okay, so basically all the tarot Halloween-themed decks are on part 1. On part 2 is Oracle decks, Learn-A-Mind deck, and other fun Halloween stuff. And I'm trying to see here, what is it that's coming out or came out? Oh, Season of the Witch, the Beltane Oracle, is coming out. And then there was a couple other new ones. If you're into Learn-A-Mind, there's the really ultra cute Mysteries Halloween Learn-A-Mind with a matching tin box. Yeah. It's in a tin box. And that's Brenda's deck. We're having her on as a guest. And when we get to reading off the upcoming shows, it might be in that list. I don't know how far away that is. I think it might be November 20th, but it's in the list there. We got so many great interviews. Sasha Graham coming up, and Paulina Faye. I mean, we our first Tarot Today show in November, I think 13th, is when we have Pamela Steele on. and she's going to be talking about her new deck, and also the third edition of Steel Wizards Tarot is coming out as well. We're going to have Pamela on. Oh, my God, so much good stuff coming up. And one other edition that I just wanted to mention, only because it's cool. I have to find it, though. Give me just a second. I'm like scrolling through. There is so much on here. Why can I not find this? I just put it on the... gosh, I can't find it. Maybe it didn't get on the list yet. Gosh, I can't find it here. It should be under More Halloween Fun. Okay,
yeah, I can't believe it's the third edition coming out of Steel Wizard. I remember when the first one came out. That's so cool.
Yeah, she actually sent me the deck. It was great. I was so glad she sent me that. I'm just going to have to add this to the list because somehow it didn't get on the list. But I do have an article on it with 2 walkthrough videos, a quick unboxing video with no sound, and then a full complete walkthrough how to use it. It is the Tabula Mortem, a modern spirit board, just in time for Halloween from U.S. Games. I'll get that onto the other Halloween fun on the decks list, but you can go check it out on thetarotguild.com under articles. I think it's like the first article. Click on where it says Tabula Mortem. And this is the coolest spirit board I've ever seen. It's circular, and it comes with a planchette, you know. That's the thing where you put your fingers on it, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 of you, and it moves around. Well, it doubles as the weight as a pendulum. And you can hang it over the... You're going to love this, Mary, because it's a pendulum. You love pendulums. And you hang it over the center of the board, and then the pendulum can swing out to the various symbols and letters and numbers and things like that. It is the coolest thing. You could even use it sort of like a tarot reading, too, and she explains that in the walkthrough videos, and you can find that, again, under videos on thetarotguild.com or on the article itself at thetarotguild.com. Just go check that out. I know, Mary, you're like, I'm not going 100 miles near a spirit board.
No, I'm not. I have pendulums. I love pendulums. But yeah, spirit boards, you know, I've drawn a line there. Everybody else, you know, like, do your thing.
Yeah.
Don't bring it around me.
You know, it's cool for Halloween, and even if you don't want to use it, you know, the box is cool, the board, everything is so cool about it. Just lay it out on your coffee table as a, you know, Halloween discussion thingy, you know, just to spark conversation and stuff, you know. Pull it out every Halloween and just stick it on the mantle or stick it on your coffee table. It's fantastic. So give us a call, 714-816-4628. Press 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through to let us know you want to be live on air with us. And we'll be going to calls in a little while. But first we have a couple of things. One is we're going to do a psychic spin segment on this show, as we said, because it's the last show of the month. And we're going to be asking... what are shadow people? So that's going to be a lot of fun. And also, Mary, I wanted to ask you what your card of the day was today.
Well, kind of going with the theme of shadow people, I decided to pull a card. One thing about shadow people, some people think there's something else that just shifts their shape. And this is it's a gorgeous oracle deck. I've had it for a while. It's by Lucy Cavendish, artwork by Jasmine Beckett-Griffith. And the card that I drew today is really cute. And it's posted on the Psychic Talk Radio Facebook group. If you haven't joined the group, I post a card of the day there, but, you know, almost every day. I try to do it every day. You can find that easily, though, by going to psychictalk.net /Facebook. And the card is card number 10, Hedgehog Love. It has all these cute little hedgehogs on it. And the message is about positive, uplifting new friends. And, it talks about, look, sometimes we have these, times in our life where we feel, maybe disconnected from family, or we feel like a little bit of an outsider, that kind of thing. And this card is saying that, like, look, your friends are your true family as well. It's like, no, you don't have to be alone. You surround yourself by positive, uplifting friends that maybe have similar interests. Join the Tarot Guild. We've got a lot of positive, uplifting new friends waiting for you there if you're into tarot, or just tarot curious. But yeah, it's just a really great message about how the idea of family and belonging and all of those things that sometimes, when we think too much about them, or we think kind of in a negative way about them, we can feel really like we're alone. We're like this lost little molecule floating alone in a big, huge universe. And no, it doesn't have to be that way. Your friends, your animals, they're your family too. But that positive, uplifting part of it is really key. It's really key, because if you're just around people that are bringing you down and are always negative, what do you think that's doing to your own energy field and your emotions? So there's something to think about. What about you, Dax? Did you get a card for the day too?
I got the Lover's card, and so today there's going to be some choices, some decisions that need to be made, and what the Lover's card is saying today is that you need to come to it from a heart-centered approach rather than your thoughts and ideas, analytical, logical. You want to think about how you... well, you don't want to think is the whole point, but you want to think about how you feel about it more than, applying pure logic, basically. You want to put the feelings and well-being of you, yourself, and your loved ones first when you're making choices today. So there you go, card of the day. So are we ready for the psychic spin? We're going to pull some cards.
Yes. I'm
so
ready.
Let me...
Are you...
Yes, I am ready. I just want to explain to people what the psychic spin is if they've never experienced our show before. Okay, so the psychic spin segment. This is the segment where we take a look at things going on in the news, or a topic on a lot of people's minds, or as in today's topic or question relating to something going on, like the time of year, it being Halloween tomorrow. And, you have the talking heads on their YouTube channels and on television news programs, cable news programs, and the talking heads are talking about the current events and things like that. But we put a psychic spin on it because we can pull tarot cards and oracle cards and intuition and a whole lot of other things. But we're going to ask the tarot today, what are shadow people? Last year we did, what was it, Mary? Are ghosts real?
What are ghosts? Yeah. Yeah.
Are ghosts real? That's what it was. And this year we thought, let's do something different. And this is really different, huh?
It is really different. And for people who don't know, you may have seen or heard shadow people referred to, or people who have experienced them on shows like the Dead Files, some of the paranormal shows. And I'm a big Dead Files watcher. And
Coast to Coast AM. I've heard dozens of episodes.
They talk.
Art Bell.
Yeah, they talk. Totally. Even George Norrie. And
George Norrie.
On Dead Files, Amy Allen talks about how sometimes ghosts will show themselves as shadow people. A lot of people, they'll see something like that in they'll think that it's maybe demonic or something because it's so different. It's like a really dark, opaque, like you can't see through it figure that maybe like you wake up in the middle of the night and you see this dark figure at the end of your bed or in the hallway or the doorway or something. And, for some people it's been, look, there's people that feel that they have had encounters with extraterrestrials. Some people even feel like they've been abducted by extraterrestrials. And for some of those people, not all of them, but for some of them, they've also seen shadow people as well. And, the famous, Rosemary Ellen Gulley actually wrote a book about this, about the jinn, and felt that shadow people were basically a form that some jinn would take. And jinn, if you don't know, we call them genies, and in America that's how we think of them. But they're not exactly like Aladdin in the lamp. There's a rich folklore and history about them coming from Middle East cultures and stuff. But shadow people aren't just happening in one culture. People around the world have seen them, and even shadow animals like spiders or dogs. And some people feel that it's connected to like sleep paralysis for some folks as well. So it's this really kind of fascinating phenomenon that's happening. It's like the second most reported paranormal phenomena after ghosts. So I think, we should ask the tarot, what's going on? What are these?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm thinking I want to start off by pulling 3 cards. Card number 1, I'm going to pull, what are shadow people? The actual question. Card number 2, are they dangerous? Because I'm wondering about that. And then card number 3, are there more than one kind of shadow people? Because there seems to be indication that there are, or that they're being misinterpreted as shadow people when there's something else. 2 different things going on there, actually. So let's see. Gonna pull for what are shadow people? Okay, this is interesting, Mary. I got the 8 of Wands for what are shadow people. And I got to tell you, as soon as I pulled the card, I got this feeling and thought in my head, and the word energetic. With the 8 of Wands, 8 is the number of abundance. It's double structure, and there might be a hint in there as we go along here. But the 8 of Wands is about taking action now, steps towards a dream. It's about synchronicity and communication, forward motion, quick action. Things are happening fast when the 8 of Wands comes up. And in modern meanings and ideas, in a contemporary look at this card, when it comes up a lot for me in readings, is I see the internet. I see telecommunications, things like that. Things happening quickly. Computers, there's that high, fast-moving, energetic energy. I think that's what they are. Non-corporeal, high energy. But let's see what else comes up here. Maybe it'll also give hints towards this, what they actually are. So the second card I'm going to pull is, are they dangerous? Okay. So we got the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords. So in the yes-no spreads that I do, Mary, aces are, it's an odd number as opposed to the even numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. all the odd numbers are no. So with the ace, I'm going to say it's saying no. They're not dangerous. Now, the sword, all the broadswords in the Waite-Smith version of the deck are double-edged. So, this is the thing. It's a sword. And so, first glance, I see it this way as it being a no because of how I do yes-no readings in tarot. But somebody just glancing at it, it's a sword. That's dangerous, right? But there's a lot more layers to tarot. So let's take a deeper look at this. First of all, I take all the aces as a very positive card. Even though technically it's a no, in some readings that I do, especially depending on the other cards and whether they're positive or not in relation to the question, sometimes aces do mean a yes, okay? In this particular case, I'm taking it as a no. The other thing is, Mary, swords represent the air element in tarot, which I think is hinting at the ethereal nature of the shadow people. And then there's another aspect, of course, of being the air element. We're talking about thoughts and ideas. So it's hinting at a couple things. One is a lot of this is going on in your mind. And number two, if there is danger, it's probably not physical danger. It's probably mental danger. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Making some sense. And then the final, so we're getting this ethereal, non-corporeal, energetic description. And then for my last question, I'm going to pull a card on, are there more than one type of shadow person? What does that all mean? So let's pull a card here and we get, this is, Mary, I love this.
What
this
happened?
Is great. I was thinking of this card, and I swear, for each card I shuffled separately and pulled a card out. I reshuffled, pulled out Seven of Cups, which was the card that was in my head. That is
weird.
Crazy. I love when tarot does this because it's like it's winking at you. Say, yup, yeah. We're really here. It's real. Yep. So the Seven of Cups, this is perfect for this. This is so perfect. In fact, I'm looking at the Waite-Smith version of the card, and in the top tier in the center, it has the figure in the card with a drape over it, like a sheet over it, which is reminding me of, people used to put sheets over their head and play ghosts in Halloween. And also it reminds me of a shadow person. Not only that, but in the Waite-Smith version of the card, that particular cup with that particular figure, there's an energy field emitting from it. There's like an aura around it, which is just what I was saying about, an energetic, non-corporeal being. And so this is fascinating. The more I look at this, the more sense this is making, Mary. So that figure in the middle, I think, is representing actual shadow people. And then surrounding it are these 6 other cups, 6 other possibilities. I think that this is telling us 2 separate things that kind of mesh together. The first is that, how you were describing what a lot of people either think shadow people are, or people see certain things. They see apparitions, ghosts, other entities. Some people think demons, and they interpret that. They look at it and they see it as a shadow person when it's actually something else. And then I think on top of that, number 2, this card is letting us know that there are different types. Beyond, the misinterpretations, like ghosts and spirit animals and demons or what have you, that shadow people themselves, there are different kinds showing up. And people are seeing different things and labeling them shadow people. Some are shadow people and some are not. So, one of the things that's always been fascinating to me about this topic is people see different things. Like, for instance, sometimes it's a shadow. The shadow person is a shadow. It's a shadow being cast on a wall or an object or a backdrop with nothing in front of it that would be creating the shadow. Right, Mary? Right?
Yes.
Okay, now here's the other one. Sometimes people see an apparition that is shadow-like, but it has physicality to it. It's still ethereal, but there's a physicality to it. It's not like a shadow being cast where light is hitting an object and creating a shadow behind it. Instead, it's like a living shadow. And people see them both ways. Okay, so there's more than one thing. And then in addition to that, even though they're shadows, you can make out shapes, angles, and such in it. And in the dozens and dozens of shows that I've heard on like Coast to Coast AM where they're talking about shadow people, they've talked about how sometimes it looks like the shadow of a person. Just you can't really make out anything beyond that. Other times you can see real specific things, like they'll appear like a woman in a dress or a skirt. You can tell that there's a dress there. They'll see men, what appears to be a male figure, where you can make out that they have a top hat on and tails, that they're like in period dress, that they're in a suit or a tuxedo. You can make it out in the shadow, in the shapes. So I definitely think that there's more than one thing going on with the shadow people. And I remember we were in the green room earlier talking about this, and I mentioned about the Star Trek episode from The Next Generation called Time's Arrow. And there's these aliens that are slightly out of phase, so they're generally invisible, but they appear sometimes shadow-like. And they're also time travelers. They are traveling back from the 23rd or 24th century there, back to the 19th century, to the 1800s, specifically San Francisco. And when they make this journey, they dress in period dress. And there's the woman and there's the male, and the male is in, you guessed it, a top hat. And I swear, I remember when this came out, of course, this is the 80s, right? 80s, early 90s. And I was listening to Coast back then, and I always felt, Mary, that they lifted that from the shadow people concept. And it makes a lot of sense. They could be aliens. They also could be time travelers. And in this particular episode, they blend the two together. They are time travelers and they are aliens. And I just love it. It cracks me up. Did you pull cards? What did you get?
Yeah, and I did it a little bit differently because I figured, like, what do we really need to know about them? With all these people reporting all this wild stuff, that was my question. What do we really need to know about them? And, one thing, a central focus card is the Five of Pentacles, and I feel like that really fits with what you were saying about it's non-corporeal. Like, they're not people. They don't have bodies like full bodies. They're not going to leave footprints, I hope. I don't know if they leave footprints or not. I hope they don't. But that's what I got from the Five of Pentacles right at the center. Is the first thing, like, yeah, they're not bodies. So, and then the cards go on. The Ace of Swords, I got that too. Ace of Swords is pointing to that and saying, like, look, they're not bodies, they're thought forms. Okay? And there's a strong message that comes through here from the High Priestess saying, don't have any illusions about what you're channeling. And it comes up in the past. So I think part of what may be going on with shadow people, the human race has been on the planet for a really, really long time, and hermeticism and magic, and ritual and all these things have been a part of the human experience for about as long as humans have been on the planet. Over time, not everybody has been using their spiritual gifts, let's say, for the best, highest, most purpose. Shadow people may very well be connected to, they may be things that people inadvertently or maybe even on purpose channeled, and they're still here. And the other thing that comes up with this, too, is that they feed off of fear. Okay. So, it depends on our choices. They feed off of things like fear and feelings of guilt and feelings of jealousy and, how our energy is, the things that we're putting off, the vibe that we're putting out there. That's part of it. It may not always be the case, but that's coming up as being part of it with the Lover's card saying, like, think about the choices you're making. And also, the danger involved is allowing the fear to take over. There's been people that have, seen a shadow person, been so afraid and, hid under the covers and started praying, and the shadow disappeared. So that, that's a big clue right there. Make sure your heart and your intention, especially if you're channeling anything, make sure that intention is as pure as you can make it, so you don't inadvertently channel something through that you don't want, that people later on are going to have to deal with. That's what I'm getting on that question. And then I did a little shadow and light question on really, if anybody out there, because it is a widely reported phenomenon, are dealing with it, how do they deal with it? What can they do? Besides calling into the Dead Files and asking Amy and Steve to come out to your house and tell you what to do.
Such a great question.
Two things come up along with this. The people that are the most vulnerable are those that are grieving in some way, okay? And the power of transformation can take this away, So you can look at transformation in a lot of different ways, but, if you're out there and you're, waking up, being woken up by a shadow person or seeing one and it's making you uncomfortable, as much as you can do to transform those feelings of fear or anger, and if you're experiencing grief, what you can do to transform those feelings. There's a lot of different methods, of course. There's EFT, is one that just comes to the top of my head as being something that might be effective in dealing with shadow people, because your negative emotions are going to be feeding that shadow person energy. And, if you want to try to get rid of them in that way yourself, and even just because it's a healthy thing to do, you want to work on transforming your negative emotions and putting that fear in check. So that's what I got.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just talking in the chat room with Jason. I brought up about the shadow animals and the shadow spider and things like that, and especially the spider ones. I think that they could be aliens visiting us. I think that we assume spider because anything multi-legged, right? We don't have any concept for anything else beyond what's here on the planet, so we're thinking spider. But it could be an alien that's just their form, and they're visiting us, you know, and it makes sense that they are semi-non-corporeal entities, because think about it. We always think Star Trek and Star Wars and things like that. We always think creating spaceships and traveling faster than the speed of light, you know, so that we can go across the galaxy in, you know, days and months instead of, you know, 500 years to travel, you know, somewhere. Maybe other sentient life forms discover a much easier way to travel than going faster than the speed of light in a ship. Maybe they travel non-corporeally through consciousness to explore the universe. Yeah.
It'd be a lot cheaper.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
And I also like the I'm sorry, what are you saying? I don't want to cut you off there. I was just going to say that the other one that I like a lot is the time travel concept, because you know, people actually from Earth, but just way in the future where they're able to travel back through time. And again, here we go, you know, H.G. Wells, we build a machine, again, you know, that transports us back in time. Well, maybe that's not how time travel happens and how it's discovered in the future. Maybe they discover that, once again, that just like with the aliens visiting from, you know, hundreds of light years away, we could be visiting the past through consciousness. And therefore we would appear non-corporeal. Or that it's on purpose, because what do you not want to do when you're visiting the past, Mary? Change anything.
Right. You're going to have an anomaly, and everything's going to break up, and you won't even exist in the future.
So my concept, or my idea there, is that, you know, they appear just as shadows because that's on purpose, so that people in our time don't know that these are people visiting from the future. It makes a lot of sense to me. Wow. That's a big topic. There's a lot of fun in that, too.
It's bigger than I thought it was going to be, really. You know, it's more complex. It's kind of fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So there you go, our psychic spin for this month. And have no idea what's going to happen next month, but hey, it could be your question. Right, Mary?
Absolutely. Send us your questions, the big questions. The big questions. What's the meaning of life? Why are we here? Where are we going?
Yes. Are there ghosts? Or how does the law of attraction work?
Are ghosts real?
Yeah. Wait, it seems like we already did that one. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, or anything that's in the news, you know. I was just thinking this the other day with, you know, the continuing schism in the United States, and it's like, you know, my big question is, are we going to see civil war, like literally hot war, you know, versus this Cold War that's going on right now? Yeah, that's a good question for the tarot too, right? And wow. Okay, yeah, so it's the big questions that we want for the psychic spin versus, you know, what's going on in your life and questions you might have about, you know, career and love and jobs and moving house and all the myriad personal questions, which is what we're going to do on the phone lines right now, right, Mary?
Yeah, well, I thought first, though, I'd let people know what's coming up on the network real quick, because we got a great lineup. Again, like Dax told you earlier, tomorrow is the 17th anniversary of the Tarot Guild. Yay! on October 31st, Halloween. So happy Halloween. No show tomorrow. And then on Monday, November 1st, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, is the Wisdom of the Soul show with your host, Janice Fuchs. And also on Monday, November 1st, is the first installment of my new column, Unveiled with Mary Brown, on the Tarot Guild website, www.tarotguild.com. You want to... Yay!
The premiere!
The premiere. I hope everybody checks that out. It's featuring a great interview I did with Giordano Berti. So I hope you all will read it and let me know what you think. And then on Friday, November 5th, it's Spiritual Guidance Radio with angelic channel and healer Catherine Hahn. She's going to be giving free on-air guidance, and that'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. And then I'll be back on Saturday, November 6th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and my guest is actually going to be Catherine Hahn, and we're going to be talking about this angelic contact stones that and crystals that may help you to connect with the angelic realm, and that'll be on There's a Rock for that, and you can call into that show too for a free mini crystal reading, and you can find all of our shows listed by going to psychictalk.net/upcoming. Back to you, Dax.
Awesome. We got so many great things going on. I did want to mention a couple others just real quick, that when we have our first show in November on Tarot Today, November 13th, I mentioned this in the beginning of the show, that we're having Pamela Steele on as our special guest. We're going to be talking about her Eternal Seeker Oracle, as well as the third edition of the Steel Wizard Tarot. So be sure to tune in for that one. It's going to be great. And that's Sunday, the 14th. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, Sharona was not able to do her episode with the fabulous Tamara Kerr, where they were going to talk magic just in time for Halloween. Well, they rescheduled for the 14th. They're going to finally do it, so it'll be after Halloween, but that's okay. It's a magic universe, so Sharona's always talking magic on her show, and her special guest will be Tarot Master Tamara Kerr, and they will be talking about magic on November the 14th. And then I also mentioned earlier we have Brenda Elizabeth coming on as our special guest November 20th. The Mysteries Halloween Learn Them on Deck. God, I cannot say it. That's a long time.
Yeah. And it's all listed on our website. So psychictalk.net/upcoming.
Yeah.
Check it out.
And the other thing is we're going to be doing a workshop with Brenda, Learn Them On for tarot readers. And all you got to do is go join our premium membership. It's $1 a month now, folks. It's billed annually, $12. Go over to thetarotguild.com, click Join the Guild, and you can sign up free on the website and join it. It's only $12, $1 a month, and you get all of these free workshops, Q&As, panels, and everything all year long. And the first one we're doing actually is with Brenda, where we're going to be talking about Learn Them On for tarot readers, and it's going to be a great little workshop we're going to do. And check out the list of all the other fantastic guests coming up. We got Luna Charlotte and the Octopus Tarot on Saturday the 27th. We've got the Magic of Tarot with special guest Sasha Graham on the 28th on Sharona's show. Lots of great stuff coming up. Awesome sauce. So let's go to the phone lines and squeeze in some calls here, Mary.
Awesome.
You all set? You got your deck shuffled? You all set?
I am ready. It is warmed up.
Are you reading with a special deck today, or any particular?
I am, the Visionary Path deck by Lucy Delix. That is just a wild ride of a deck. I thought it'd be perfect for our Halloween episode.
Yes. Well, let's see who's been waiting the longest. It looks like area code 929. Caller, are you there? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, 929. Are they there? I hear something. I'm going to put them back on hold.
Something too.
They were listening to the show so long, that they probably are doing something else while they were listening and couldn't get to the line. But we'll come back to them. 929, we're coming back to you, but we're going to go to 917. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, yes, my name is Tim. I'm calling from New York. How are you guys doing today?
New York. Yay.
Good. Hi, New York City.
Well, it could be New York State. You didn't say city.
Yeah.
It could be, but it's definitely the city.
Awesome. What do you want to talk about today?
Oh, okay. Well, so I heard you mention EFT. I am in the process of working on clearing out the fear programming, bringing some abundance of new things in without knowing exactly what I want to do, job professionally-wise. So I was reading up on tapping. I was thinking about trying to start some tapping just because, the scarcity mindset of, hey, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? It kind of gets on me and then takes me down that path, and I know abundance can't come in like that. So if there was any tips or messages from Spirit, I'd greatly appreciate it if you have anything for me.
Oh,
well,
Jack.
the message is, the message is simple. You are so on track, Tim. This is exactly what you should be doing. The central focus card that I got is the Ace of Swords, the same card, that I got in the reading we did in the Psychic Spin. I swear I shuffled the cards, Mary. And, all the aces are new beginnings. And hold on for just a second. Tim, there's a lot of background noise. I'm going to put your line on hold, Tim, because I can't speak and think and talk at the same time here with all that going on in the background. So we're going to put Tim on hold here, Mary. But, yeah, it's perfect. The Ace of Swords, as I was saying, all the aces are new beginnings, and this is especially in the air element, thoughts and ideas. And that's what we're talking about with EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques. For those that don't know, that's tapping on the meridian points, and it is absolutely fantastic and a lifesaver for a lot of people that want to clear out emotional blocks or that have negative emotions coming up that they want to tap away. And Mary, you were just so dead on when you said people that are seeing shadow people, what to do, especially if they're having a negative feeling about it. EFT is where to go. Tap on those negative feelings. And coming up in my spread is a lot of great cards. 3 of them are major arcana cards. So, Tim, this is telling me this is a huge life change for you as you go through this process. Now, it's not going to be instantaneous. I'm getting the 6 of Swords, which is a slow progression to your goal. Okay? It's slow and steady, very similar to when I get the Knight of Pentacles. You're making steady progress towards your goal. Don't expect it to happen overnight. It's going to take several sessions of tapping. It's going to take, maybe a week or 2 to work on this, right? But then, we get things like the Chariot card, which is about victory. You're going to have success here. And then the Death card, which is the transition card. So, you're going to be changing phases or cycles. One phase or cycle is ending, And with this technique and this process, you're going to be able to move into a new cycle and a new phase. What are you getting, Mary?
You know, what's really interesting, the central focus card I'm getting is the Page of Pentacles, which I think is perfect when we're learning something new. And it just really reminds us that, you know, especially like a new technique, you know, like EFT. So Three of Wands comes up with this, like the observant. You're going to learn by observing your heart, your feelings. And that not only is it about learning a new technique, it may be very well something you wind up mastering as well. But the other thing that comes up here is that this is going to be important for clearing the indecision and the confusion. So, you know, whatever it is, if you're like, I'm not sure where all this is leading me, it could be this, it could be that, maybe I should try this, maybe I should try that. Start by just paying attention and observing, you know, starting with this, you know, one technique, and just really observing your heart and your emotions. That's the message from Spirit, is that the Ace of Cups comes up as the last card. And it gives me the real feeling that the direction that you're headed in now, I think you are on the right path, and I think the direction is going to lead you into a heart-centered place, and also winding up doing something you really love. So that's what I get.
Let's bring Tim back on. I hope that helped you out, Tim.
It helped me out tremendously. I thank you much. I thought just popped into my mind the other day that someone was going to call me, and then they did. So, you know, I'm trying to just tap into Spirit and be led away. I appreciate you guys very much. I will keep working. Thank you.
Enjoy
Awesome.
the rest
Thanks
of your
for
weekend.
Calling.
You too.
Thanks for calling. Bye, Tim. Yeah, tap into your intuition as well as you go through the process there. The more you open up, the more information you're going to get. Let's go back and try that line. Jason in the chat room actually said that maybe the first caller was a shadow person. Spooky.
Yeah, I thought that too. Like, hey, or they're messing with the line.
Let's see if we can get them on here, though. Area code 929. Caller, are you there? What's your name? Where are you calling from? 929.
Hello, my name is Ann. I'm calling from New York.
Another New York.
Hi, Ann.
Hey, hi, Ann.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing? What did you want to talk about today?
I wanted a reading.
Mhm. Do you have a specific question?
General, like anything,
Just
like
a general.
Like, yeah.
Any particular area, like career, love life, just home?
Stability.
Stability. Oh, that's a great question. So let's just
Stability.
Stability. I like that. General reading.
I was just confirming.
Stability. Yeah. Okay. Let me just see what comes up in these wild tarot cards I'm using today. This is a wild deck. Wow. Okay. 7 of Pentacles. We'll get to that. That's a central focus card of this, which is interesting. Stability. Yeah. So look, sometimes we feel like we're not where we need to be. The 7 of Pentacles is really interesting. To me, it's a card of expectations. You know, it's like you're standing there, you're waiting for the pot to boil or the phone to ring, or we're waiting and waiting for something to happen. We feel like things should be happening quicker than they are. But the great thing about the 7 of Pentacles is saying, like, look, things, we're going to get there. Things are going to come into fruition. And we may not have a lot of control over exactly when that happens, okay? The other thing that comes up here, too, is you've got to not connect your own sense of stability to other people. Okay. I see a lot of people cards that come up here, the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Wands. Those could be, people around you or people in your life that are kind of, you feel pulled in different directions. And again, I go back to that expectations. It's like, it's not your job to fulfill the expectations of everybody else. Okay? You need to feel stable. You need to feel centered and grounded. And there's a lot of different ways that you can approach that. But, sometimes if we feel like people are pulling us in different directions, we feel like we're losing our balance. And the Ten of Swords, look, the Ten of Swords is the last card that comes up here. Now, that's a rough card. The thing to remember about it is the swords are talking about things that are happening on what I call the mental plane, our thoughts, things that are happening in our mind. The Ten of Swords can indicate that, finally a difficult situation has reached the conclusion. So we're almost out of the woods, really, is what this is saying with the Ten of Swords right ahead of us. And once, we complete a difficult phase, it's time for a new cycle. And that's really a positive thing. And if the last thing that I would say here is kind of interesting is that I feel like the next phase for you is where things are just going to happen like smoothly and quickly, and you're going to feel like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
So little more ways to go with the kind of difficulty, the kind of sluggish process, the kind of feeling like we're being pulled in different directions and it's knocking us off our balance a bit. Try the most simple way of grounding that comes into my mind is mindfulness. So sometimes when we're dealing with a lot of different things going on, we have to just kind of disconnect for a minute or two and just wherever we're at, notice what's around us, really notice us. You notice it, if there's a flower or a plant or a piece of artwork or a pretty picture or something, just look at it and focus on it to just kind of shut out the noise. Let's see what Dax is getting.
Okay.
Okay, so some great general messages coming from the tarot for Anne here. The Star card, hope and optimism. So in general, the tarot is saying to focus on optimism. Focus on how you want things to be rather than how they are necessarily. Hold on just a second. I'm going to put Anne's line on hold again because I'm getting more background noise there. So put him on hold here.
New York is noisy.
It's noisy in New York. We know that from Sharona. She warns us on her show, hey, you're going to hear the ambulances and the sirens go by. I'm in the middle of New York City, for God's sake. Anyway. And the very next card is the Justice card. And so if there's anything going on, Anne, that's legal in nature or, disagreements, contracts, anything along those lines, it's going to be in your favor. It's justice is going to be served, especially because the very next card is a card of celebration, the Four of Wands. And this card is also talking about and this is, I think, the big takeaway here is to celebrate even the small wins. Focus on that and the optimism. It goes hand in hand, really, from the Star card. Focus on the positivity and what you want to create versus focusing on the negativity. And speaking of negativity, the very next card is the Five of Swords, and so that's talking about potential disagreements, communication problems, things along those lines. So the message with this is, you may actually win the argument, but at what cost? So keep that in mind, especially in your communications with other people. And lastly, the Page of Coins shows up. This is possibly a new interest, but I feel the real big takeaway with this is to have a sense of awe and wonder as you're going through life here. those are the messages from the tarot for you, Anne. I hope that helped you out. What do you think?
Yeah, I think everything resonated because I've been trying to look for a place. So when you say like anything with the course or the system, that resonated as well. Yeah. And when she said like being around people, you know, that resonated as well. Everything resonated to me.
Okay.
Well, thanks for the call, Anne.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Our Halloween special episode. I know we've gone over. Do we have time for another call, Mary? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. See who's out there.
We'll take one more call. I think we'll take one more call here, and then we got to get out of here. There's a lot to do. I got to get ready for the anniversary tomorrow, and we're going to have, of course, some specials for the anniversary. You can sign up, as I said before, as a premium member and get all of those fabulous benefits, including the free workshops and Q&As and everything. It's just $1 a month. It's $12. And when you sign up for that, during our special for the 17th anniversary of the Tarot Guild, we're going to save you, $30 to $50 on certification if you decide to get certified, and my Tarot and Numerology course as well. So just go ahead and sign up as a premium member on thetarotguild.com, and then shoot me a message, and I'm going to give you a special price on certification and a special price on my course as well. And there'll be posts on that tomorrow on Halloween and the anniversary of the Tarot Guild. Let's see, who's been waiting the longest? It looks like area code 440. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Patricia. I'm calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, hi. I've been living here in this city. It's just been really difficult. So much negative energy I've been experiencing and feeling. And just going through a lot of stuff. Dark night of the soul, negative karma, and just the energy of so many of the people here. And in this apartment building I live in, I know you're talking about ghosts and all that, and I wouldn't be surprised if there were some ghosts in this city and in this building.
Shadow people infestation.
How can you just determine before you say if you want to move to another city or state? And in my case, I am, because I just can't live here, any longer than necessary. How can you just determine? I mean, obviously, you go and visit the place before you, make those decisions. And I mean, those persons who are empaths, and I mean, they will pick up on the energy immediately and people's attitudes. And if you're not that, I mean, how do you, protect yourself and shield yourself? And so that, in my case, I've been here 9 years, and it's not as if I was doing my best to get out here, but, finances were affected, my health to a degree, and yes, and it was just a lot of stress and overwhelm. So what suggestions would you have? And I know cities and states, they have their own energy and personality.
Okay, well, I think Mary can talk more about, if you want to, Mary, pull some cards, look into the protection aspect. And, as far as the move, I'm getting the move information. It's just blowing up here. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to move. And you're already ready. You have everything in place more than you think you do, because the Nine of Wands shows up, and the fella has his battle scars, so to speak, but he's ready to win the victory is what it's talking about. Now, you may feel a little bit trapped right now. That's that Eight of Swords energy. But then the next card is the Knight of Swords, and he's rushing backwards the other way to the Eight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving of the knights, and it's saying that this could happen a lot faster than you think it can. All of the hang-ups that are going on are in the Eight of Swords, and that's why he's, facing and rushing into the Eight of Swords instead of away from it, is because he's saying that, if you can get past this spot is when things are just going to take off, and swords are thoughts and ideas. So in the Eight of Swords, and by the way, it's 8, which is a card of abundance, really. And it's one of the secrets to abundance. When you first look at the card, you go, that's not abundance. Oh, yes, it actually is, because it's telling you that you're trapped by your thoughts and not your ideas, not in reality. Because when you're looking at the Waite Smith image and you look really closely, you see that she has the blindfold on, and then she's got these wrappings around her, these bonds that are holding her that, looks like she's tied up. In reality, they're extremely loose. All she has to do is wriggle herself, and she'll be able to get out of those and then pull the blindfold off. She'll be able to see the clear path out from in between the swords. The other clue is that the Knight of Swords has 1 sword, and in the Eight of Swords there's 8. Again, hinting at it's too many thoughts and ideas. You need to focus on one idea, one thought, and everything just keeps going in that direction. I'm making the move. This is where I'm moving. If you don't know the exact place you're moving in the exact city, you actually start doing that. You start picking places and looking at them and focusing on that, and that's how it works. Now, I do get the Four of Cups, which is a card of, he's not really super happy sitting under this tree looking at these 3 cups. There's a cup, 3 different possibilities that he's not too thrilled with. But out of the ethers, out of the cloud is a hand reaches out with a 4th cup. This is an opportunity involved with this move that you haven't seen it yet. You just haven't seen it yet. And then, if we didn't have enough clue about the thoughts and ideas, the last card, which also doubles as the timing card, is the Ace of Swords, which, Mary, this is the 3rd time the Ace of Swords has showed up, and again, it's a new opportunity. It's the beginning of victory, the seed of an idea. Again, like with the Knight of Swords, it's a single thought or idea versus those 8 swords. You got to get focused on, move your focus off of, I haven't moved yet, it's terrible here, the lack, all of that. You need to focus on what you do want and have that singular idea that you latch onto that's happening with the Ace of Swords as well as the Knight of Swords. Now, while you're going through this process, in order to turn away from the lack mentality and dealing with the negativity and so forth. Mary, do you have any ideas? Anything comes up for Patricia in that area?
Yeah. Well, I was focused on the energy.
Whatever you got.
Or not. Well, okay. So here's the weird thing. And I don't know what this is about, but do you feel like there's a problem energetically with the physical location where you're in, like your space in it, like if it's an apartment in an apartment building or if it's a house?
Yes. I mean, I'm in my apartment in the building that I live in. And I mean, yes, there are negative persons, and they're very nosy.
Right.
One particular tenant, is very problematic. She's a troublemaker, and I'm putting it nicely. I'm in about a week or so, I'm going to visit the city and state, and just, see it, hear it, visit the apartment buildings, figure out where that the grocery stores are.
Well,
so
you want to pay. Good. Yeah, you want to pay attention to the, how you feel when you go to kind of, do your reconnaissance mission, to go check it out where you're thinking of moving to. And, okay, I'm just going to say this. I don't know why, but something about mirrors and to not, it's the weirdest advice that don't buy any mirrors that are used. Okay, I don't know why that comes up, but a little vanity mirror or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, for some reason there's something to say about mirrors with you. But the other thing that is coming through really strongly too is to raise the vibration where you're at, for the rest of the time that you're there. It really sounds like, the move's quickly and that's going to be a positive thing, but what can you do in the meantime to shield or protect yourself? I work with crystals. You could use a piece of hematite and designate that as your energetic shield and wear it, keep it in your pocket or whatever. If you don't work with crystals, that's okay. There's lots of other ways to do it too. The main suggestion that's coming through for me is find a piece of music that you yourself would describe as uplifting, even angelic, something that just lifts up your vibration, and play that, once a day for the rest of the time that you live there.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah.
Jason has a suggestion in the chat room. He says to salt the door.
Yeah, salt the door. Right. Keep the negative out by salting the door. And, energetic cleansing, house clearing, that kind of stuff you can do too. It's gonna be hard to do it for the whole building. That's not your responsibility, but you can take care of your space. Bring in things like plants and fresh flowers, or things that are going to raise that vibration and put some life and some light and some love into it. So it doesn't drag you down. Making a move takes a lot of energy. It's a lot to do, a lot of details, all of that stuff. So you want to do some self-care to make sure that your vibes are riding high.
Oh, well, and yes, Mary, just the simple, what's come up a couple times on the show already, is the EFT tapping. When you're starting to feel negativity or anything going on and you start to have negative thoughts, is to get into the tapping, to get tap those thoughts and ideas and feelings, especially feelings away, emotions.
Yeah. And dealing with the nosy neighbor lady in your building that's a big troublemaker and stuff, you can't control what other people do, but you can protect your own energy field. So say you're in your building, you just came back from the grocery store and you're headed to the elevator or whatever, and you get approached by this person. A real simple way to close off your energetic field from them is to, without it being really noticeable, cross your finger, cross your ankles, cross your arms. And because you're doing a physical movement that is connecting to your body energy field and saying no, I'm closed off. I'm not open for you to mess with my energy field. And she can talk to you and whatever, you walk past her, you see her, whatever, but, do that simple little physical movement, because that is your way of saying, guess you don't get to disturb me. Maybe I can't avoid you completely, but you don't get to mess with my energy.
Yes, I put in small containers.
There we go.
Indoor. And then I live in a studio, so each corner of the room I've got salt. And then
good.
Selenite, too.
Pray some healing prayers and chant some healing mantras
Which mantra do you chant?
This is from, I'm sorry, guided to it. The name of the book is Healing Mantra.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. What is this?
That's okay.
Dr. Rose used to always do ones from that book.
Around.
Yeah, as long as you feel it and it's authentic and you believe it, then it's real and it's working. Okay?
Right, and I keep this made. When I first got here, I told one person I knew they would tell others, and I wanted to make it clear, don't come knocking at my door because I'm not going to come knocking at yours, period.
Yeah.
No explanation.
Yeah. Sure. And do, energetic cleansing, align your chakras. You could do that with crystals that are, the same color as the chakras. The one thing that I always try to remind people, if you're going to cleanse your space, you're removing the negative energy. But you want to put something in there. You don't want to leave it blank, right? You want to then fill it with positive energy. So things like chanting, playing music, plants, those are just real simple ways to raise the vibration of your space. So good luck with all of this. You got to call back in and let us know how everything went.
All right. Thank you. Have a good
You're
have a
welcome,
good day.
too.
Awesome.
Happy Halloween.
Thanks for the call. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And Halloween, I keep forgetting to say that.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. So next week I get to take off the Saturday because you're going to be doing There's a Rock for that. And I've never heard of angelic contact stones, so that's going to be interesting with Catherine Hahn. I'll just be sitting out here on the patio with my coffee, Mary, listening in to you guys.
Awesome. Be in the
Alrighty.
chat room.
Well, thanks, everybody. Yeah,
Bye,
I might actually call in. Who knows? I want one of those crystal readings. I don't think I've had one.
No, you haven't. Gotta do it.
I should call in for a crystal reading. Crystal readings next Saturday, folks. Thanks for all, wonderful conversation and help in the chat room, from Sharona and Jason Spillman. And we'll see you all again. Remember, come hang out with us in between in our groups, Psychic Talk Radio, and, of course, the Tarot Guild group, almost 7,000 people in there. And on thetarotguild.com. I hope to see you all. Bye, everybody. Bye, Mary.
Bye, everybody.
Happy Halloween. Yay. Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Mary Ellen.